Somewhere right now, someone is making money in their sleep. Not a billionaire, not a hedge fund, just a regular person who set something up a few years ago and now gets a deposit every month without doing a single thing. That is not a fantasy. That is not a scam. That is just how money works when you understand one rule that most people are never taught. The rule is simple. Your time is finite. Your money is not. You can only sell your hours once. You go to work, you trade time for a paycheck, you come home. Every dollar you earn required something from you, your attention, your energy, your life. But money, when it is structured correctly, does not work that way. Money can make more money, quietly, automatically, without your permission or your presence. That is passive income. And the reason most people never build it is not because they lack the money, it is because they misunderstand what it actually is. Here is what passive income is not. It is not posting affiliate links and waiting for checks. It is not buying a rental property with no money down like some late-night infomercial told you in 2006. It is not a course that promises you'll replace your salary in 90 days. Those things exist on the surface of the idea. The actual mechanism underneath is far less exciting, and that is precisely why it works. Passive income in its truest form is the return on a previous decision. You made a decision, you deployed capital or time or both, and now that decision continues to pay you long after the work is done. That's it. That is the whole thing. The question is not whether it is real, it is whether the decision you made was a good one, and that's where the math gets uncomfortable. Let us say you want to earn $1,000 a month from passive income. Sounds reasonable. That's $12,000 a year. Life-changing for some people, a nice cushion for others. Here is what most people do not calculate. If you put money into a high-yield savings account paying around 5% annually, which in 2024 is actually achievable, you need $240,000 sitting there to generate $12,000 a year. $240,000, doing nothing but existing. Most Americans do not have $240,000 in savings. Most Americans do not have $24,000. So when someone tells you passive income is for everyone, what they are really saying is that the system rewards people who already have capital. And for everyone else, there is a longer, slower path. That path is real, but pretending it is easy would be a lie. So how does someone actually build this from a low starting point? There are essentially three mechanisms. They are not secret, they are not complicated, but they require something most passive income content will never admit they require: time. The first is dividend investing. You buy shares in companies that distribute a portion of their profits back to shareholders, usually every quarter. The average dividend yield on the S&P 500 sits around 1.5%, which means you need significant capital to generate meaningful income. But reinvest those dividends for 10 or 15 years and the compounding starts doing something remarkable. Small amounts become medium amounts start generating their own income. The math accelerates in ways that feel almost unfair once you've been doing it long enough. The second is real estate income, rental properties, REITs, real estate crowdfunding platforms. The appeal is obvious. Someone pays you every month to live somewhere. The catch is also obvious. Property management is not passive. Tenants are not passive. Maintenance is not passive. What is passive is the structure if you build it right. REITs, for instance, are publicly traded funds that own real estate. You buy shares, you collect distributions, you never unclog a drain. The third is intellectual property. Writing a book, creating a course, licensing a photograph, building software that charges a subscription. These have the lowest capital barrier and the highest variance. Most books sell fewer than 1,000 copies. Most courses make their creators almost nothing, but the ones that work keep paying, sometimes for decades, from a single month of effort. Here is the part that almost no one talks about. Passive income is not a destination, it is a ratio. The goal is not to stop working. The goal is to increase the percentage of your income that does not require your direct labor, from 0% to 10%, from 10 to 30, from 30 to 50. That shift changes everything about how you move through the world, not because you're rich, but because your time is slowly being decoupled from your survival. And the uncomfortable truth is that every dollar you spend today is a dollar that could have been generating returns tomorrow. That's not guilt, that's just the physics of money. The people who build passive income streams are not smarter, they are not luckier. They made a decision, often a boring, unglamorous decision, to put money somewhere and leave it alone. That's the secret. There is no secret. But here's where it gets interesting. The entire passive income industry, the courses, the gurus, the YouTube channels, the books, the subreddits, all of it is itself a passive income stream for the people selling it to you. Think about that for a moment. The most effective demonstration of passive income is the content you are consuming right now about passive income. Someone made something once and it keeps generating returns every time a new person finds it. Which raises a question worth sitting with. If passive income is so accessible, so teachable, so available to anyone willing to learn, why does the median retirement account balance in America sit below $90,000? Why do 60% of adults live paycheck to paycheck? Either the information is not reaching the right people, or the information alone was never the real barrier. Passive income is real. The math is real. The mechanisms are proven. The time horizon is just longer than anyone wants to admit, and the starting capital required is higher than most people have. That doesn't make it impossible, it makes it a long game, and long games are won by people who are still playing when everyone else has quit. So the question is not whether passive income works. The question is whether you are willing to build something today that won't pay you back until years from now, in a culture that rewards you for spending everything immediately. Most people are not, which is exactly why the ones who do end up being the ones making money while they sleep.